Raja Kalam, Yahama Kala, heard Allah you Akbar when I stepped out the car. Lyrical terrorist, my pen planted the bomb that blew off his head, arm, leg, arm. Supreme alphabet, take over the internet, protect your neck, slit a throat in the process. Butterfly knife gave butterfly effect, pierce through the skin when the point connects. Samurai tactics, beautiful acrobatics, don't fuck with books, never speaking pig Latin. My shit bang from here to Saturn. Green Lantern, charge us, bust your fucking atom. Now just lethal always. Civilized and savage in darkness and hallways. Ran up the staircase, devils came through the doorway. Lost Babylon in the alleyway. Out of his army jacket came a fifth for E and J. That's how live niggas started that day. Stolen cars with the toothbrush. Fiends hit the
Yo. Music Talk Monday. We back up in here. Yo, what's good, yo?
What's good?
What's good?
You know me. Chilling. Being a villain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. Oh, yeah. Last show was wild, you know what I'm saying? We clowned out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We was having fun, you know what I'm saying? That shit was cool in the motherfucker, you feel me? But I told y'all, didn't I? I told y'all, I said that lawsuit that Drake was trying to push, that shit was gonna fail. I told y'all. Told y'all. Straight failure. You know, listen, you kept rooting for him. Drake's gonna do this for every artist out there. It didn't work though, because it was bullshit. That's what was, you know what I'm saying? It was bullshit. You know, stop bullshitting, you know what I'm saying? This is the moral to the story. When you try to come into this culture and do fuck shit happens back to you. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man. Oh, yeah. Young Damo's video is in the background, as y'all could see. You know what I'm saying? For his Never Seen It Coming EP. You feel me? This when his money changes the video. You feel me? Go ahead and get that on all streaming platforms. You heard, man.
And
May 6th. Go ahead.
If you missed it last time, you suck. But you here now, so go listen to that.
Yeah, Baltimore is fine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this is Baltimore right here. We giving y'all Baltimore. We real Baltimoreans. We every day, you know what I'm saying, living Baltimore life. Is what the fuck we do, yo. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Authentic. We don't lie to y'all. Authentic. So whatever the fuck you thought was going on, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you get to see some visuals, so you don't have to second guess what we do, how we do it, what we bout, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We do what we do. You feel me? In the name of hip hop, all for the love of the culture, yo. So my shit drops May 16th. Filming the video, we did some of that last night. Going to do some of it tonight, and then tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, we're going to do the final parts of it or whatever, and that shit going to drop, you feel me? So, yeah, stay tuned. We don't bullshit you, yo. And I will say this. If this is something you want to do, you should. It should be as easy as rolling out the bed and just doing the something and putting it out the same day. If this is what you do, that means you got to buy the technology and all that shit to accomplish your goal. Then you got to manage your time right. This shit ain't easy, but the reward though, I'm lying. This shit easy. You know what I'm saying? For us. For us.
Well, look, like you said, Young Damo Music video Money Changer. It's on my channel, you know what I'm saying? You see it down below. YouTube, Young Damo. Go over there, you see it. You know what I'm saying? Come join the cause. You know what I mean? Feeling shit, stand up. Yeah.
Y'all know what it is, yo. But we gonna get into this video. You know what I mean? Wow. I mean, I told y'all. You know, we gonna get this over with, and you know, we're gonna have our commentary and all that shit on as we normally do. But at the
Right.
same time, yeah, told y'all niggas it wasn't gonna happen. And then he got a nigga like top 5 running around, you know what I'm saying, doing all the shit he doing. Yo was just losing all kinds of ways, you know. God damn, that's fucked up, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. That is so fucked up. You know what I mean? Sorry that they had to do that to your boy. You know what I'm saying? But here we go. You feel me? This is you. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me do this right. This is Rapaholics, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe to his channel. And yeah, we're about to get into this video. Oh yeah, and like, subscribe on this villain channel. You know what I'm saying? Villain talk all day. Monday, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get all the fresh shit from his music talk Monday. And check out the V files, man. Stop playing around. Everything you that playlist stay, you know what I'm saying, updated, all that shit every Monday.
In today's episode of Lawbury in Gentleland, the puff pastry prom queen princess printing petitions over a reputation that's diminished was delivered a dismissal motion by UMG over the lawsuit the Freaky OV Ho frontliner filed. The record label wants the judge to cancel this clown show of a case that the Canadian Katy Perry concocted, and they submitted a 25-page document to the judge to let the court know that Lawbriana is simply sad he lost a rap beef, and the PDF rumors were swirling around long before Kendrick crumbled the Canadian carcass into the concrete. Now, you guys don't want to miss this video. I promise you, the things that UMG put in this motion to dismiss this lawsuit could be material for a stand-up comedy special. So you know what to do. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts, share with your friends, and let's break down this entire document that UMG just submitted to the judge to absolutely cook the Canadian maple syrup mob boss. Now, Lawbries and Gentlegrams, let's get right into it, all right? Chop.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I have a question for you.
Dang.
If you had to make a choice between having
Or what? The commencement of the Canadian cookout. This brand new lawsuit starts off with a quote from Drake himself from one of his actual records, Successful. That record was released way back in 2009 when he was still the unconfrontational Canadian clown. And on that record, he rapped, "I want it all, that's why I strive for it. Diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it." And that's the exact quote that UMG uses to start off this motion to dismiss Drake's lawsuit. A motion to dismiss, if you guys didn't know, is basically a request for the judge to throw out Drake's lawsuit. So they start off saying, Drake, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle against fellow artist Kendrick Lamar that Drake himself provoked and which he willingly participated in. Instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he sued his own record label in a meritless attempt to salve his wounds. On March 17th, 2025, UMG moved to dismiss Drake's complaint. Rather than attempt to defend his original complaint, Drake filed an amended complaint in which he removed obviously false factual allegations, but added multiple allegations about Kendrick's live performance of a version of the song Not Like Us at the Super Bowl halftime show on February 9, 2025. What they're referring to here is the fact that in Drake's first lawsuit, he basically accused UMG of using fake streams on the song Not Like Us. Drake's source for this was a whistleblower or an anonymous person who went on DJ Academics' stream back in June of 2024 to say that Kendrick's manager, Anthony Soleil, actually paid him to put 30 million fake streams onto Spotify for Not Like Us. This random guy ended up to be full of cap, and that's why Drake's team amended their lawsuit, aka filed a new version where they removed that claim from the lawsuit. But on top of removing the bot claims, they also added in some new claims about Kendrick actually performing Not Like Us on the Super Bowl stage. So let's continue here. Drake's new album.
Before we continue there, you know what I'm saying? I I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he had a beef. He lost the beef. instead of directly suing Kendrick, he thought he was going to come up with this plan where he still was going to stick it to Kendrick. No, did he? Right? And he was going to use UMG to do it. That was his plan. I can't see it no other way. Allegedly, right? Oh yeah, we gotta get our YouTube language together too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we go
Allegedly.
language leak. You know what I mean? But like it didn't work because you yourself are a product of UMG. Matter of fact, technically, you are UMG. You know what I'm saying? Well, you was. You know what I mean? You was UMG. You know what I'm saying? You ain't UMG no more. You know what I'm saying? You OVO. That's it. Standing alone. Probably with Sony or somebody or however, whatever. Because you still going to do numbers. He's still going to do numbers. And so it don't matter. Not these numbers, though. He ain't going to do Kendrick numbers. He ain't breaking no records. He ain't getting no stadiums. You know what I'm saying? He can get himself like, you know what I mean, like a nice venue or something. You know what I'm saying? He might even get himself like a concert hall, maybe. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, something like that on that level, you know what I mean? But my nigga, God damn, you played yourself. And that's just what it all boils down to. You straight played yourself. And
Right.
for all you future artists out here, this is why we selling. I mean, I said selling. This is why we fuck it. This is why we selling our music independently. You should be selling your music independently as well. You don't want to go through all this shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you don't really own yourself. It's the things that you got to do. I'd rather be able to have to say so and all that on what I want to do when I feel like doing it. You feel me? And I own all my masters. I own everything. I release it when I feel like it. You know what I mean? And that's just that. You just gotta do a little bit more work, but record label will show and prove this. Let's take the baby for example. After the shit hit the fan with him, the fan base went down. Woof. Right? He dropped some music. The music was still, you know what I'm saying, good. The numbers were good, but it wasn't his regular numbers. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you how a record label has a great effect on, you know, your range of people. But in the days of bots, I mean, their marketing is just different now. They have different capabilities. So if you attach to the record label and you're not doing what you have to do as far as for your due diligence on information on how to run your shit, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, you're gonna be subject to whom or whatever. You know what I mean? Like shit's not cool, man. We gotta grow up in the business. You feel me? So yeah, take control of your shit. You know what I'm saying? Shoot your videos, put your music out, do your merch. You know what I'm saying? Do shows and all that shit. Get out here and hustle your shit. It just is what it is, yo. Make them links shake, as we say. You know what I'm saying? And it's more than just throwing the links out and shit. You feel me? You gotta do other shit. You know what I mean? Gotta get creative, do content, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But damn, Drake. So sorry, yo. You know, the only person that sued somebody in the history of hip hop. I mean, we had females battle whole groups. You know what I'm saying? Roxanne Shante versus UTFO, and she didn't sue. Roxanne, Roxanne. She didn't sue though. You know what I'm saying? She just came back with more fire and kept bringing heat. She just kept bringing heat, bringing heat. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
crazy that it even had to get to that point though.
mhm.
Cause like even still, yeah, you let nigga put you in the ground like that, like you just went outside and shit, and then you tried to make yourself go outside to try to prove a point, and that shit backfired. So now you just look hell. But it's just like, yo, don't take jabs at shit you can't get past. Mm. I don't
Yeah.
know how the situation itself started, but like shit, you see where it ended.
Shit.
It's just like,
Listen,
yeah,
hey, look, I like what's going on. Call me a hater. I like this new karmic energy, you know,
yeah.
do its thing and shit. You know what I mean? So if you don't agree with me, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? The universe is making this happen, nigga.
Allegations are absolutely astonishing. As Drake concedes, Kendrick's Super Bowl performance did not include the lyric that Drake or his associates are quote-unquote certified PDFs, aka the alleged defamatory material that is at the heart of this case. Basically, because Kendrick didn't actually say the words certified PDFs on the Super Bowl stage, UMG is questioning why the hell Drake is now using the Super Bowl performance in his lawsuit. The focus of Drake's new claims that, quote-unquote, the largest audience for a Super Bowl halftime show ever did not hear Kendrick Lamar call Drake or his crew PDFs. And this betrays Drake's case for what it is. Drake's attack is on the commercial and creative success of the rap artists who defeated him instead of the actual content of Kendrick's lyrics. The amended complaint is without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. In 2024, two of the most popular recording artists in the world, Kendrick and Drake, engaged in a high-profile rap battle. Over the course of approximately 2 months, they exchanged increasingly vitriolic and incendiary diss tracks, sometimes responding within hours of each other. Drake encouraged the feud. When he felt at one point Kendrick was taking too long to respond, Drake released a recording goading Kendrick to continue the rap battle. Kendrick did just that, and collectively Drake and Kendrick released a total of 9 tracks taking aim at each other. On a side note, you could literally make an album with all the different diss tracks that came out around that time, right? The 9 tracks that Drake and Kendrick released, the 1 track J. Cole did, Rick Ross's diss track, Metro Boomin's BBL Drizzy beat, A$AP Rocky's diss track, The Weeknd's diss track. Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting any? But yeah, this would be like the greatest album of the 2020s decade if you just included like all 12 of these songs that I just named on one project. Maybe I'll make that a playlist on Spotify or something where they all flow in like a sequential order. Anyways, let's continue. Not Like Us, the penultimate track in the feud, is the subject of Drake's complaint. The recording was released by Kendrick through defendant UMG on May 4th, 2024, and was a massive success. The record was the best-selling rap record of 2024 and has become a ubiquitous cultural phenomenon. Like all the recordings in the feud, and like many of the notorious diss tracks throughout rap's history, Not Like Us consists of a series of hyperbolic insults. Hyperbole, just like the Super Bowl, essentially means performative, right? For the love of the performance, for the spirit of imagination, of creativity. It's an exaggeration, and that's what UMG is essentially trying to say Not Like Us is. Not Like Us is not factually saying Drake is a PDF, but instead it's a performative diss track that echoes the sentiment or spirit of diss tracks in the past. Drake was pleased to use UMG's platform to promote tracks leveling similarly incendiary attacks at Kendrick, including that Kendrick engaged in domestic abuse and that one of Kendrick's managers is the true father of Kendrick's son. That he's talking about Family Matters here. But now, after losing the rap battle, Drake claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. It's not. While the complaint focuses mostly entirely on Not Like Us, it disregards the other diss tracks that surrounded Not Like Us, as well as the diss track genre, and thus critically ignores the context of the dispute. Assessed in context, as it must be, Not Like Us conveys non-actionable opinion and rhetoric hyperbole. Indeed, diss tracks are a popular and celebrated art form centered around outrageous insults, and they would be chilled if Drake's suit were permitted to proceed. Basically, what they're saying here is Drake had no problem using UMG's resources to put out diss tracks of his own, where he also spread horrible accusations against Kendrick. But what UMG is saying is that all of these insults were in the spirit of competition, in the essence of what a diss song is supposed to be, right? Hyperbolic insults, exaggerated performative insults for the sake of trying to tear down your opponent the hardest. And what they emphasize at the end here is that if Drake's lawsuit were to go through and he were to actually win, it would set a precedent in the world of diss tracks, and I believe just music in general, where creative freedom is now limited. People have to worry or walk on eggshells about what they say in a song because they'll have to worry that a record label will get sued over the bars that they rap. And what's even worse is that he's not actually.
But you see what I'm saying? That's why I was saying if he did win, oh my God, the whole shit would change. But it still kind of changed because he did it. You know, somebody else going to try to do it eventually or whatever. So now it's going to become a suing type game and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody going to be salty. Now it's like, oh, for real? You thought you did something? Next thing you know, you getting subpoenaed in court and shit. For real, for real. That was a weak ass fucking move.
And not only was it a weak ass move, it just make you look crazy though, because it's like, sit down and check that L. You got yourself in as my shit to get yourself out.
Hell yeah.
Just sit up and move forward, just on its own. Like this shit's still lingering around. This was last year, nigga.
That's crazy as fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Like this is the longest shit ever in hip hop. You know what I mean? And salute to Kendrick for, you know what I'm saying, getting everything that he's getting and everything. But god damn, like I'm almost getting tired of talking about the shit, but you can't stop talking about it because Drake just keep doing shit. You know, all we should be hearing about is Kendrick's tour. You know what I mean? How well it's performing, you know what I mean? Shit like that. What city you going to? Then we move on. But nah, we entangled in lawsuits and shit, and you know what I'm saying? Nigga doing still little sneak disses and shit. You know, like who gives a fuck at this point, man? Drake, cut it out, stop it. You need to be worried about top 5 for a whack 100, but try and put you on, boy. You know what I mean? God damn. You need to cut that bullshit out, son. Shit.
Actually suing Kendrick here, right? So it's not like new rappers of the future will look at this lawsuit and be like, oh crap, Drake sued Kendrick over a diss track, so I have to be careful what I say in my diss track. No, Drake is suing the record label. So if Drake wins against the record label, think about how corporate and strict and tight a record label is, right? If UMG loses this legal battle, think about how careful all record companies will be in the future to avoid ever having the chance of getting into a lawsuit like this where one of their artists is suing over another. You're talking about the puppet masters here, right? The record labels are the puppet masters. So if they see that their artists could get them roped into a lawsuit, they're going to be a lot more careful about the type of tracks that they allow out or the type of lyrics they allow out.
This is the quickest way to reduce blood sugar levels. I reduced my blood sugar levels by 295 points.
Stop eating
And
candy.
UMG is basically warning the world here. Like, if Drake's lawsuit were permitted to proceed, the celebrated art form of diss tracks would be chilled, aka the lyrics will now be washed down, censored, limited. They won't be the same. Drake also alleges that Not Like Us constitutes second-degree harassment, but sues under a criminal statute that has no private right of action and does not prescribe speech. Basically, he's saying that Not Like Us is second-degree harassment, but he's suing under a statute that does not necessarily focus on speech. And that's obviously what this is, right? If Drake feels harassed because of Not Like Us, it's due to the speech within the song, the lyrics, right? Finally, Drake claims that UMG's promotion of Not Like Us violates New York General Business Law 349, but fails to allege any of the elements for that claim. Less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition criticizing the quote-unquote trend of prosecutors using artists' creative expression against them by treating rap lyrics as literal fact. As Drake recognized, when it comes to rap, the final work is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. Drake was right then, and he is wrong now. The claims against UMG are no more than Drake's attempt to save face for his unsuccessful rap battle with Kendrick. The court should dismiss the amended complaint with prejudice. So basically, less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a petition to protest rap lyrics being used in a court of law, and stating, again, that the final work, the final rap song that we get is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. So why is that different here? 3 years later, Drake is now suing over Kendrick Lamar's vision. Very hypocritical. So now they get into, obviously, the parties involved. They describe themselves. UMG is a global music company. Drake is an internationally known rap artist, and he signed with UMG through their Republic division, which is a record label under UMG, Republic Records, in 2009, and extended his contract in 2022. Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. He is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 170 million albums sold. Damn, that's a lot. UMG also represents Kendrick through UMG's Interscope division. Kendrick's also a highly successful rap artist. So that's what's so crazy about this whole thing, right? Is that they're both signed to UMG. They were both releasing diss tracks aimed at each other through UMG. If Drake won this thing, then it'd be UMG's fault, according to Drake's logic, that the world now perceives Kendrick to be an abuser, a cheater, raising Dave Free's kid, etc. Again, if Family Matters won and UMG was the one promoting and publishing that song, it'd be the same exact situation, but it would be Kendrick that looks bad. So then they go into what kicked off this whole battle, and not the rap battle, the legal battle. Not Like Us was released as part of the rap beef between Drake and Kendrick. The artist feud reportedly traces its origins back more than a decade, but broke into the public domain in early 2024 when Drake and Kendrick began trading diss tracks, sometimes within the same hour. But Drake and Kendrick's feud is not unique. And here it's hilarious. UMG goes on to give us a literal history of rap battles. Rap feuds have existed pretty much since the beginning of rap in the 1970s, and several storied feuds have occurred throughout rap history. Drake is a prolific rap feud combatant, having traded diss tracks with artists including Meek Mill and Pusha T. The public feud between Drake and Kendrick traces back to the October 2023 track, First Person Shooter by Drake and J. Cole, in which J. Cole rapped the line that he, Drake, and Kendrick were the big three. Again, this is all J. Cole's fault, man. Like, as much as J. Cole wanted no smoke and probably had good intentions by saying we're the big three like we started a league, he was really the one who kicked off this entire battle, which is hilarious. In response, Kendrick appeared on the March 2024 track Like That with artists Future and Metro, in which he rejected the notion that Drake and J. Cole were his equals, rapping, F the big three, it's just big me. Drake responded with push-ups distributed by UMG. The track takes aim at Kendrick, insulting his height, how the F you big steppin' with a size 7 men's on, and Pip Squeak pipe down. These are quotes in UMG's lawsuit. Sometimes I feel like they're literally making this lawsuit more entertaining for the media that's actually reacting to it rather than, the judge who's reading it. And through this push-ups diss track that we, UMG, had released for Drake, Drake also insults Kendrick's career. Your last one bricked. You're really not on nothing. He also stoked the feud, stating, and that effing song y'all got did not start the beef with us. This stuff been brewing in the pot. Now I'm heating up. Then, seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Kendrick to respond, Drake released Tailor-Made Freestyle on Instagram. The track uses AI to make it sound as if the voice of deceased rap icon Tupac is rapping Drake's lyrics. In Tupac's voice, Drake taunts Kendrick and notably urges Kendrick to, quote-unquote, talk about Drake liking young girls on Kendrick's next diss track. And they literally quote tailor-made lyrics in this lawsuit. Kendrick, we need you. The West Coast savior. Engraving your name in some hip-hop history.
This game, you're not ready for.
If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity. F this Canadian light-skinned dot. We need a no-debated West Coast victory, man. Call him a B for me. Talk about him liking young girls. It's a gift for me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's got to be true. And in his own voice, Drake goads Kendrick to release a new diss track, rapping, since like that, your tone changed a little. You're not as enthused. How the F are you not in the booth? It feels like you're kind of removed. You're trying to let this stuff die down. Nah, not this time, my guy. You're following through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the F's taking so long? We're waiting on you. I love how terribly Drake foreshadowed this entire battle. But anyways, let's continue. Kendrick responded with 2 tracks, Euphoria and 616. Kendrick raps to Drake in Euphoria, saying, a pathetic master manipulator, I can smell the tails on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. He criticizes Drake's music. I make music that electrify him. You make music that pacify him, which is obviously also a subliminal to the fact that he could double down on Drake being a PDF. But again, as he says in Euphoria, he'll spare him this time. And Kendrick attacks his use of Tupac's voice. A Canadian guy making Pac turn in his grave. Kendrick critiques Drake's parenting. I got a son to raise, but I could see you don't know nothing about that. And he critiques Drake's character and identity. I hate the way you walk, talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. We know the lyrics of Euphoria. Kendrick insults continue in 616, where he raps that members of Drake's team are disloyal. Have you ever thought OV Ho is working for me? Fake bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering you deserve it. Drake responded on the evening of May the 3rd with the track Family Matters, distributed by UMG. The track is a scathing attack on Kendrick, laden with hyperbolic slurs. Drake attacks Kendrick's authenticity. You're just acting like an activist, it's make-believe. Mocks his height. He always said, I overlooked him. I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny head no matter what I say. He states that Kendrick cheats on his fiance. Why did you move to New York? Is it because you're living that bachelor life, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening, right? Because we know the girls that you actually like. Your darkest secrets are coming to light. And asserts that Kendrick's child was fathered by one of his managers, Dave Free. Your baby mama captions always screaming, save me. You did her dirty all your life. You're trying to make peace. I heard that one of the little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Freeze, because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty effing sense to me. Drake also raps about Kendrick abusing his fiance, stating, when you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you? And they hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you hit your queen. The track makes other allusions to violence. Drake opens up that he has emptied the clip over friendlier jabs, asks, which one of my so-called brothers need a shell from the clips, and raps, come get this butt whipping, I'm handing them out. The track closes with Drake stating, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, there's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to hide. Firearm shots sound at various points. Kendrick responded with 2 back-to-back tracks, Meet the Grams, followed by Not Like Us. In Meet the Grams, Kendrick directs his insults to Drake and members of his family. Not Like Us was released May 4th. Like the diss track before it, Not Like Us consists of hyperbolic insults. Kendrick calls Drake names, why you trolling like a bee, ain't you tired? It was God's plan to show you the liar. Mocks Drake's brand, what the OVO for, the other V option. What is the owl, bird guys, and bird girls? I think they got this lyric wrong. Isn't it burnt guys and bird girls? Something like that. Makes hyperbolic threats of violence. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. He attacks Drake's relationships, including alleging that Drake had relations with rapper Lil Wayne's girlfriend. Effed on Wayne's girl while he was in jail, that's conniving, and calls him an effing colonizer, inferring Drake exploits other artists for financial benefit. Taking up Drake's invitation in Taylor Made to quote-unquote talk about Drake liking young girls, Kendrick also makes various statements referred to in Drake's complaint, including, say Drake, I hear you like him young, you better not ever go to cell block 1, to any girl that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from them, and why you trolling like a bee, ain't you tired, trying to strike a chord, it's probably A minor. He also raps, Baka got a weird case, why is he around, certified lover boy, certified PDFs, and states that your homeboy needs subpoena, that predator moving flocks, that name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. Drake responded the following day with the Heart Part 6. There, Drake doubles down on his statement that one of Kendrick's children was fathered by Mr. Free. And why isn't Whitney denying all the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free? And like if Dave really effed your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breed and resentment. And reiterates his claim of domestic abuse. I don't want to fight with a beater, it feeds your nature. Drake states that he expected the alleged defamatory statements in Not Like Us. This Epstein angle was the stuff I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. And he denies those allegations. Only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's, I never looked twice and no teenager. The track also contains further references to violence, including I'll hit your throat with the razor, and yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber, your butt is in extreme danger. Now we get into chapter 2. The real reason why UMG thinks Drake has planned to...
You see this house in Florida? Well, let me show you how I invested into it with just a few $100.
Sue. UMG continues their ether against Drake, stating Kendrick is widely perceived to have won the rap feud. And they provide some quotes of, I believe, fans who had some thoughts on the beef, stating, ultimately, I do think Kendrick did come out on the superior end of that quarrel. We can say that Kendrick has won. Not Like Us has been a massive commercial and artistic success. It was the best-selling rap song of 2024, and Rolling Stone deemed it the biggest moment of music this year. I would argue in the last 10 years. The song, recording, and video of Not Like Us were collectively nominated for 5 Grammy Awards, as voted on by over 13,000 music industry peers, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Performance, Best Rap Song, and Best Music Video, and won in all 5 categories. Now, keep it in mind, just to show you guys how substantial the success of this song has been and the impact. I don't believe there's ever even been a hip-hop song that has even been nominated in the main categories, both main categories, like Record of the Year and Song of the Year. And I'm pretty sure, like 99%, that no rap song has ever won Song of the Year. I believe This Is America by Childish Gambino had once won Record of the Year, but Kendrick was the first one to win in both those main categories and the first one to ever win Song of the Year for a hip-hop song. Insane. Kendrick performed a live version of Not Like Us at the Super Bowl as well on February 9th to a record audience. They continue, there is particular value in resolving defamation claims at the pleading stage so as to not protract litigation through discovery and trial and thereby chill the exercise of constitutionally protected freedoms. In defamation cases, Rule 12b-6 not only protects against the cost of meritless litigation, but also provides assurance to those exercising their First Amendment rights that doing so will not needlessly become prohibitively expensive.
So, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I mean? Everything in a bag of chips, you feel me? Like, yo, like that shit was crazy, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? God damn, that's all I can say is like the shit is I told y'all, it's a waste of fucking time.
Nah, the whole shit as a whole is a waste of time, bro. Like, Just let the shit go, bro.
Fucking waste of time, man. You know what I mean? We about to get out here, yo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, y'all. Don't forget, never seen it coming. You know what I mean? This is Money Changes video. Make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe on this channel. Hit that alert button. You hear me? Go on the Villain Bag of Life shop. You know what I'm saying? Etsy, you feel me? Hit that shit up. Get your villain apparel. You know what I mean? We got keychains, socks, you know what I'm saying? Hoodies, sweatsuits, you know what I mean? Bathing suits for women. You know, we got all that shit up on there. You feel me? So go ahead and get yourself, you know what I mean, something good. You know what I mean? Find yourself something nice. You know what I mean? Be a part of the movement. You know what I mean? But outside of that, you know what I mean? Outside of that, May 16th, my shit dropping, niggas. May 16th, my shit dropping. You know what I mean? My EP. I'm not telling y'all the name right now, but 7 songs and a bonus song. So a total of 8. You know what I mean? So, and we doing the video, like I said. So, yeah, stay tuned. You know what I mean? It's going down next week. You know, like the rest of the shit. Stay tuned. It's going down next week, brother. You know what I mean? For shit, man. Had fun with this. You know what I mean? As always.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, yo. You know what I mean? So we out, yo. We out. You know what I mean? Salute.